The section is
What do we
called
choose? What do we have?
Star ingredient. That's star ingredient. Star ingredient of the week.
Star ingredient. Although this week it's not so each week we have an ingredient, or well, actually it's not always been an ingredient because go back a few weeks, it was vegan smorgasbord, which isn't as much an ingredient as much as a kind of thing, but usually it's an ingredient or a kind of some sort of food stuff thing. But we've gone
succinct intro there.
We've gone. Well, just so people know, just so you know, viewers / listeners /
Just call them people. Just for the people. The
folks.
People that,
hey, folks.
Hey, ladles and jelly spoons. This is what we used to call people. Anyway, so this bit is called Star Ingredient, where we talk about an ingredient or a dish that's going to be the star of the show. And this week it is...
Cured food.
Cured food.
Cured things.
Cured
all the way until they're alive again.
I tell you what, I've done no research on this because I want to learn, because curing scares me.
Well, I please don't look to me as an expert.
What?
I was going to do research on the train, but I got talking to a lady next to me who was very nice, but yeah.
But you've done a lot of curing.
I have done it. I always resist saying, "Oh yeah," because then I know that there'll be loads of people out there going, "You don't know what you're talking about."
Oh, who cares?
But
not me.
I get excited about things, then I do stuff. But no, I've cured, certainly in the last few months. I've been buying a lot of salt. Let's say it.
Good. What have you cured? Come on, rattle them off.
So I've made some pancetta.
Oh,
and I'm so pleased with that.
There we go. See,
so that one I did based on the mutual friend of ours, Stephen Lamb method.
He's so nice.
We should get him on as a guest.
Let's get Lamb on.
I would love to get Lamb on.
Steve Lamb.
Steve on.
Get Stephen on.
And nominative determinism. He's a meat guy.
Yeah.
Steve Lamb.
And he's so nice. His family's lovely as well.
He's just the sweetest guy.
Let's get Lamb on.
For anyone who doesn't know, Steve Lamb, he was one of the River Cottage chefs who was on the TV programme a lot, and now he teaches about charcuterie and, well, food in general, and he sort of presents and hosts at festivals. And
isn't he doing something at Lord's Cricket Ground at the minute? Or have I got that completely wrong?
I did see him doing something there.
Yeah.
Anyway, lovely bloke, great teacher.
We got absolutely sozzled with him at Big Festival.
We did.
When I did my first segment on Big Festival on the AO stage, 10 in the morning, I was like, can I have a drink, as you do at a festival? And he popped a bottle of Prosecco, and we did 2 bottles of Prosecco in 45 minutes doing my segment.
Such a nice bloke.
Yeah.
Anyway, he's got a brilliant book that I can't recommend enough. It's part of the River Cottage handbook series, their little hardback books. And yeah, I've done loads of stuff from that. Yeah. One of which was his pancetta recipe, where you cure it and then you dry it out. And
tell us what the curing is, though.
So the curing, basically, what curing does is it uses salt to preserve. So salt draws moisture out of things, and moisture is something that bacteria can live in. So if the moisture is drawn out, then the bacteria can't live, and it means that things will last a lot longer.
Yeah.
So you can use a cure initially to draw out the moisture and to prolong the life of something. For example, with pancetta, if you just do the curing bit, it will last a lot longer, but you still have to cook it. Mm-hmm. If once you've done the curing bit, you then dry it as well, that reduces the moisture even further.
Yeah.
And you can dry it to a point where you can eat it.
So what is in the cure?
So in the cure is mostly salt, and sugar. Mm-hmm. They're the kind of 2 essential things. And then beyond that, well, I would imagine actually salt is the only essential one. I think the sugar adds a sweetness that kind of counters the salt, so it's not just overwhelmingly salty. And then you would add other things to flavour it. So anything from herbs and spices and so on. So like a kind of basic pancetta cure, you've got nutmeg and mace in there. You've got bay, rosemary, juniper, and then a lot of black pepper.
Yeah.
And so you put the pork belly in a bag, or just scatter the salt mixture over the top or whatever, but just to make sure that it's contained. Well, in fact, there's 2. So if you're doing bacon. So I'm just trying to remember.
Let's stick to pancetta. Because I did bacon once where I put it and you did it in a bag, and then they told you to turn it every day or whatever, so that when you had it in the fridge. But I got so freaked out because it smelt weird, and I was just like, "This."
I
is
have
gonna
had
kill
ones
me.
where it's and I think the nose knows.
Yeah.
It's like if something smells wrong, it's probably wrong. So when I did the pancetta, so I've done bacon before where you just sprinkle the cure over the top. With the pancetta, it's a bit more mathematical. You have to do a certain percentage of the weight of the original bit of meat to work out exactly your right quantities, and then you put it in a contained bag, so like a Ziploc bag or whatever. Do it for a certain number of days. Then you wash the cure off, and then you start drying it. But when I was drying it, it started getting this white bloom all over it.
Yeah.
And I was like, I wasn't sure about this. So then I sent a photo to Steve, and he said, "No, that's absolutely fine." He said, "That's exactly what you want." He said, "If you think of a salami, it's like covered in fine white powder." Yeah. And he said, that's a penna. Sounds like penicillin, but something like that. Pencil case. A pencil casel.
But I think this is the thing with curing, fermenting, all of that kind of stuff. You need like a helpline, because if you're doing it for the first time, you can follow a recipe, but then all those little small intricacies within it, is it meant to smell like this? Is it meant to look like that? Is it meant to be this wet? Is it meant, that's what you need the answers for. And, when I did that bacon, it was probably all right, but I just freaked out.
Well, exactly. With this mold that was growing on the pancetta, I thought, oh, is it spoiled?
Yeah.
But what I think is so lovely about the online community, because it's people by, mostly creators who are doing it because they're passionate about it.
Yeah.
So actually, you find someone who's into it and you ask them, and they're only too happy to answer. You know what I mean? Whereas, if it's some TV chef, you're never going to get an answer from
that was my recipe.
Yeah.
That was mine.
But haven't you found that though? Online, you'll ask someone, and people are just, they want to help. They want to be involved. Yeah.
I get a lot of questions. I always send a voice note back or a video message, and they're like, "Oh my God, didn't think you would do that?" And I was like, "It's so easier than me writing a message."
Yeah, and
my thumbs are cold.
It's a pleasure to do.
So what have you cured?
So what I've cured, first of all, because I've cured fish.
Great.
Yeah.
Get out.
Because fish is, so with the pancetta, it's one of those ones that it takes a long time, and it's all very manageable to do at home, but even so, you still got a lot of wait time and fridge space and blah blah blah. Curing fish you can do in 2 days.
Oh, yum!
So I've done some. I don't know if it's gravlax or lox. I like saying lox.
What colour is it?
Well, I think they're all the same method. I've been looking online. I think there was different names for.
Doesn't gravlax have like beetroot in it to make it go a bit more pink?
Not always.
No.
I think so. So you can do. I mean, I've used beetroot on mine. But yeah, I don't think it's always. I like Lox.
Yeah.
Lox feels very Larry David kind of.
It almost feels like Robin of Locksley. Like King Arthur.
I know. Well, Robin of Locksley.
Yeah, like the sort of like that. I've been talking to Noah about the Round Table. And I was like, Lancelot, and God. My dad almost sang on a film called The First Night once. You know The First Night, the film?
Yeah,
where Sean Connery, who is the King Arthur, and he dies.
Was your dad a singer?
No.
Is your dad? No? Well, how was he singing on it?
Well, he's got a good voice. And I think it was something that happened at his school, and then he was one of the people that was going to sing the song.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, but he didn't do it. But that's the way I want to die anyway. Like, when I do, not die, once I'm dead. Once I'm dead, like, cure me.
A Viking funeral with the flaming arrow.
Love it. Imagine that on a pond in East London. What are you doing?
A reservoir. Look! Oh my God!
Whoa, look! You just popped to Borough Market. What have you done this?
I just popped to the shops. I bought a knife because I did bring some to slice, but then I thought, well, I brought some slice. Well, I tell you what. No, let's get the actual lump out. Let's slice it, and then that can.
I can take that home.
Yeah, as a present.
Oh, look at this!
So look, let me get it. Let me unsheath it from its.
Gosh, it looks like it's been bleeding.
Little chamber. So this is pastrami cured lox.
Holy jacket potatoes!
So what I've done is I have I made a cure for just the lump of salmon from our favourite little supermarket, Lidl. Just their biggest piece of salmon that they had.
I like the one that's spelled differently.
It was about £7.
£7, nice, yeah.
Ridiculous. And it was like twice the size. I've been nibbling it. And then what I did... The thing is with food... is it always, if you get cassette boy on it, it doesn't matter what you do, and you can always make it sound rude, can't you? Anyway, I made the cure, which was rock salt, brown sugar, and black pepper, and I put the pastrami spices in there too. So I put some caraway and some coriander seed and some bay, and then cured that for 2 days. Oh, and beetroot to get that lovely red colour, which makes it look like a sort of a Les Paul guitar.
For people, like when you say just curing it, you just
okay.
Pack
yes,
it.
I'm not being clear. I'm too excited. So
no, I'll slice. You talk.
So what? Shall we just have? No, let's not have a taste yet. So the quantity. I can't remember, but it's quite specific. But you look online, cuts nicely, doesn't it?
Not really.
That's a Polaris Soul.
It's one of those. The most annoying.
It cuts pretty well.
The most annoying thing is when you. I used to do this at Andrew Hemmings when I used to work. You had to slice the salmon, and you start off, and then all of a sudden the angle just becomes more and more and more and more and more.
Yes, well, I like to because you want to get as big a slice as possible, ideally, don't you?
Come on, then, tell me about the cure.
Yes. So you make the cure. You put the fish in a bag with the cure, which has got the beetroot in and everything else. You seal the bag, put it in your fridge for 48 hours, and put it under weight. So I just put a couple of cans of Guinness on top of the bag.
Oh, nitro surge.
And 48 hours in the cure. Then you take it out, wash the cure off, pat it dry, take the skin off the fish, and then to do the pastrami glaze, it's a mixture of black treacle and a little bit of water just to warm it up, to thin it out. Yeah. You paint that on, and then you sprinkle over more to get the smokiness, smoked paprika, toasted crushed cumin, toasted crushed coriander and caraway seed, and black pepper. And then you put that on, and you get that nice crust. But I mean, you're getting the pastrami flavour, aren't you? Yeah, it's really pastrami-ish.
And it's so beautiful.
It's that I think is the thing, is that, I mean, that when you get that bleed of red through to the orange, it looks, and then when you get the black on the edge, it really reminds. I used to have a Les Paul electric guitar.
Show off.
That was
Which one
it
was
was a Les Paul copy.
I've got a Gibson SG. You've seen it? The brown one. My mum bought it.
Yes, I have.
1969 Gibson SG.
Yeah, lovely. That's the same one as School of Rock, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah,
that's the reason I got it. I saw Jack Black playing the red one, the cherry red one, and I was like, "Mum, I want that." Yes, I mean, my mum went to Canada. This is a funny story. My mum went to Canada, and I said, "Oh, Mum, I'd love a guitar. I'm not spoiled." And I had one of those £69 crappy guitar setups. And then my mum, when my dad said, "Oh, do you want to come pick Mum up from the airport?" And I was like, "Oh, no, not really." I was like 17. I was like, "Why do I want to do that?" And then she turned up. She was standing there with a flight case. It was all battered. And I was like, "What's she done?" Opened it up, and it was this beautiful guitar. I was like, "What have you done?" I went to some shop and bought this. It was quite expensive, but not massively expensive. And she's appreciated.
Good old mum.
Good old mum.
So what I've got to enjoy this with, as any regular listeners will know, a couple of weeks ago, I was getting very excited about making bagels.
Here we go.
So I had a couple of poppy seed bagels left, which had gone a bit tough. So I sliced them up and baked them to make some. There's a bit of crunch on there, but anyway,
it's like a crostini.
Some nice little bagel chips.
Cool.
No, I know they are quite careful. I should have done them a bit thinner. What? I got some schmear. Got some schmear.
What's schmear?
Just cream cheese, but it sounds more authentic.
Isn't it Pat Schmear, the guitarist from Foo Fighters?
I don't know, but that goes with the whole guitar thing. Wait a minute, let me put a little bit of dill on there as well. Look, it's the thing we were complaining about on the wine list a few episodes ago with the all the stalky bits mixed up with the other bits.
Should have just walked through Borough Market and said, "Can I just have 2 frongs, please?"
Well, I know, but I didn't walk through Borough Market because I went to Blackfriars.
Give me that frong.
Right, hold on, let me have a go.
Baby,
as well.
When your booty goes. Hey, George, you've done salmon here.
Yeah.
Which is wonderful. I've got 2 questions. What other fish can you do it with first?
Well, you can do it with. I tell you what, I did. I've done it with mackerel.
Oh.
And I think you know the mackerel I'm talking about.
What, the 50 mackerel that we caught?
The untold mackerels. We went, Martyn and I, last year?
Yeah, and my brother. So we went fishing?
We went mackerel fishing in Brighton. Mm-hmm. We caught, me and your brother, caught so many mackerel.
Such a laugh.
Went back to mine. First of all, we ate some on the beach. We had some raw, which was delish.
Fed the guts to the seagulls.
Fed the guts to the gulls.
Yeah.
Guts to the gulls.
Guts
to the gulls. That'd be a good album.
Yeah, it would.
Second one. And then we went back to mine and we did various dishes, but even after a full day's mackerelling, we still had, I don't know, 20 each, something like that. Ridiculous.
Yeah.
And it was like, right, these are super fresh. We've got to do something with them. So I basically did exactly the same as I did here, but a much simpler cure. So just salt and sugar and whatever herbs I had. And you basically, you fillet the mackerel, you build it up in layers. So you do salt, mackerel, and you keep doing it. And then you put it under weight. A couple of days. In fact, I think even less than that, if I remember, because there's so much smaller pieces of fish.
Yeah. I was going to say, it was like 24 hours, I think.
Yeah. And then the texture of the fillet, it's incredible how it changes.
It's
going
waxy.
From super floppy, to like really, firm, fleshy, waxy, as you say. And then you skin it. So it's quite a tricky job skinning it, but although easier once they're firm. But then they're just like, I mean, they were incredible.
And when you do have hundreds of them, you get used to it.
Yeah.
Oh, that was a good one, Miff.
So you could do it with that. I mean, that's all I've done it with, just those two. I guess oily fish in general.
Yeah.
But then, like you were saying with the Tom Brown thing, I mean, you can do a quick cure on all fish, I assume.
Yeah. And I think this will be a big topic we probably won't have time for this week, but it was talking about sustainability, I suppose, of fish. We touched on it before. But who's that guy that I showed you the video of who did the salmon piece? James.
I can't remember his name, but
something
to get a whole salmon.
Yeah, the cost of it. But then a lot of people in the comments, especially sort of chefs, are saying never buy salmon, always buy trout. Because I think a lot of salmon is farmed and bad. But I mean, at the end of the day, it's just like...
Well, it's what you can afford.
Exactly.
And this podcast is yes, of course, with an eye on sustainability and everything else, but also a realistic eye on... what's better, buying a bit of farmed salmon or going to a takeaway and actually buying a bit of farmed salmon and making something with it, and using it all and eating it all, and cooking, is better than...
Exactly. I did a video when I was down in Cornwall, and I did the same thing. I went to Lidl and got some salmon and cooked it on the barbecue. And one of the lines was just so throwaway. I was like, "Yep." So I went fly fishing down in Cornwall and got this from Lidl. Just pulled it out of Lidl. And then everyone was like, "Where did you go fly fishing in Cornwall?" It's like,
listen to the whole thing.
Oh dear. Anyway, George, I'm going to say that was your best segment ever.
What? Well, I think.
Just take that as a compliment.
I am,
and let's move on.
Although, can I just say, the crouton's a little bit hard.
Yeah, exactly.
So I'm going to do this. I'm bragging.
Let me eat that though. Don't waste it.
You want that?
Yeah.